Hello all and welcome back to Efficio's Transforming Public Procurement Microcast series, where we're continuing to share insights with you all to help you understand the new Procurement Act regulations. Following on from last week's discussion on the Procurement Review Unit, today I'm joined by Ryan Jones, a consultant from our public sector practice, to discuss the National Security Unit for Procurement. Welcome, Ryan. So what can you tell us about this new unit?
Hi, Jack. Thanks for having me on. Briefly, the National Security Unit for Procurement, or NSUP for short, is responsible for the national security provisions set out under the new Procurement Act. It's been established to help support ministers in assessing suppliers on national security grounds in line with the Act, and it will work closely with a variety of government departments and the intelligence community to oversee the implementation of these new powers.
Great. So what would you say its key roles are?
I'd say there's probably three key roles. It's going to sit within the Cabinet Office and will help support ministers in assessing referrals made by the various authorities, which are required to obtain ministerial agreement to national security exclusions and termination. And then we'll take a decision on these referrals by supporting the Cabinet Office ministers. It will also have a monitoring function for all the exclusion actions taken, and will receive notifications from contracting authorities around this. And then finally, probably the biggest part, it will be supporting ministers in the identification, assessment, prioritisation and investigation of suppliers for debarment on national security grounds. And then these debarment decisions will be taken by Cabinet Office ministers.
Okay, debarment's always an interesting topic. So can you tell us exactly how this unit will be linked to debarment then?
Yeah, of course. So anyone will be able to refer a supplier for consideration by the NSUP. But only a minister can decide whether a supplier should be placed on the debarment list. Debarment on national security grounds will be split into two factors. They will have discretionary debarment, where a contracting authority has the discretion to allow the supplier to participate in procurements. And then you'll have mandatory or context-dependent debarment, where an authority may not allow that supplier to participate in procurements for certain types of contracts, for example, kind of like your IT on national security sites or something like that. A public sector contracting authority will be able to exclude a supplier from a specific procurement or terminate a contract if they're added to this national security threat list. And unlike other grounds of the Act, the exclusion or termination requires agreement from a minister of the Crown first, following referral to the NSUP by a contracting authority.
Thanks, Ryan. So I guess, given the current geopolitical environment, I'm sure everyone's aware of, national security and procurement will be more important now than ever before.
Yes, of course. I think, as you said there, over the last year, 2 years, the world's definitely changed a lot, and there's a growing emphasis that malicious actors, such as individuals, groups, or states, could target authorities through their procurement routes to try and undermine national security for gain over the UK economy, be it militarily, political, or economically. And in addition, malicious actors could try and exploit existing networks with supply chains and subcontractors to gain access to the data or systems they already have access to. This could, cause harm in three major ways. So you've got probably the primary one, which would be critical national infrastructure. So your defence assets, your key national infrastructure resources. The effects on UK capability. So they could seek to undermine or erode existing UK capability in military and intelligence or technological areas. And then there's also adversary capability, where adversaries could seek to improve their own capabilities in military or defence or anything like that through access to our systems or networks.
Thanks, Ryan. That was a really clear and great overview of the NSUP, another acronym for us to learn, and definitely lots to consider for contracting authorities given the new exclusion and debarment regime, which is now in place. I hope you all enjoyed today's Microcast. Please do post any thoughts or questions in the chat. And as always, get in touch with Ryan or myself for future topics you want to hear about. We'll see you all next week.